So, hey guys, Chausu here. And yeah, I'm doing something different in this video. I'm going to be making a legend concept, my idea for a legend. And the legend in question for this video is a Luffy, Kid and Law trio unit legend. And here I want to point out first that we can feel pretty confident that we'll get the new Luffy, Kid and Law legend for the Japanese anime, and this artwork is taken from the promotional material for the anniversary on JP. But we don't know the nature of the legend. It can be a solo legend for all of them. It might be a duo legend, but like it might be Kid with Killer legend, Sora and Luffy legend, like we don't know. It could also be a duo legend with these three units. They can do like Luffy and Kid share one unit, Luffy and Law share one unit, you can swap between them, and then it's them three together in one unit. But yeah, my idea here is what if we put all three in one unit and make it a trio, so you can use each one separately. That will obviously be a new mechanic, and the way it will work out is that, yeah, it will be fundamentally the same as a duo unit. The difference is when you swipe down, you can then swipe left or right, and there will be an option there so that you can decide who you swap to. So you will basically be able to swap to any of the three on any turn. You can either stay as the unit you are or swap to one of the other two. So that of course gives a lot of options. And yeah, the concept I had when making this unit was that first I wanted it to be a bit of a power creep numbers wise. This is anniversary after all, they usually do that. And but yeah, this is my design, so I wanted to add a twist. I wanted them to be unique, have depth, reward planning in advance, knowing what you're doing, that kind of thing. But yeah, the overall theme of the unit is that they boost the same colors, so that those colors are strength, dex, and quick. And they have some similarities with the special where they share similar attributes, but in the bigger picture they will all be three separate units. And I feel that's important because I feel that separates the dynamic this trio has of being their own person. They are the captain of their own crew. They are never going to be told what to do by anybody else. So yeah, that's the idea I had in mind when designing this unit. So yeah, let's jump into it. So let's look at them in their trio form after you've used the special. And yeah, Luffy, Kid, Law, they'd be a fighter striker unit. Fighter is for Luffy, of course, and then I wanted a class that could work for both Kid and Law, and I felt like striker was the only potential option. We even have some striker Law legends. So yeah, I went with that. Captain ability. Boosts strength, dex, and quick charge attack by 5.25 times. Highest new multiplier in the game. Booster HP by 1.4 times. Booster recovery by 1.4 times. Reduces damage taken by 25%. Makes strength, dex, and quick characters, tandem, recovery, bomb, super bomb slots have matching slot effects. So yeah, that's a lot to digest. I think this will make more sense when we look at the characters individually. But yeah, the theme of this is that one of the units is going to be mainly boosting one color, and they will also have one particular orb used around them. So Luffy will be based around the tandem orb, Kid around the bomb and super bomb, and Law around the recovery slot. And yeah, there's not much more to talk about it here. Special changes depending on current character. This is the same mechanic that Luffy Law has. If you don't remember, then that special changes if Luffy and Law uses it. If Luffy uses it, it's a lot of damage to one unit, and if Law uses it, it's a bit less damage to more units, and it bypasses more effects. And yeah, then we have the swap, and this is a new mechanic because the swap changes depending on which character you swap to. So if you are Kid, for example, and swap to Luffy, you get Luffy's swap effect. So yeah, this basically means you have 3 different swap effects in total, and on top of that we also have the super swap, which is the new mechanic announced for the anniversary update on JP. And of course the super swap will change depending on which 3 of the units it is. But the activation effect that I've come up with is that when you swap to Luffy, Kid, and Law 2 times each with this unit, basically this means that you have to go through every unit with the swap 2 times, and the next time you swap, you will get the super swap. And yeah, each unit part is about, let's say you run double Luffy, Kid, Law, Captain, and then as a friend captain. Then if the captain, Luffy, Kid, Law swaps, that only builds that Luffy, Kid, Law gauge and not the other. And yeah, basically if you don't know, super swap is a gauge that you fill by swapping. So yeah, I hope that's clear. Sailor abilities. First one, boost crew space stats by 150, pretty standard. More stats, always nice. Sailor 2, makes strength, dex, and quick characters, tandem, recovery, bomb, super bomb slots, and matching slot effects. Yeah. Basically mirrors the captain ability, which means they are more usable as a sub. You don't have to work around getting beneficial slots for, yeah, their particular orb. And yeah, potential abilities, I'm not gone too into depth here, I just picked what I think fits. I decided to go with one that fits each of the 3 characters. So the first one is Hunger, fits Luffy obviously. The second is the Enrage, I think that fits Kid pretty well. It's also taking damage, which also fits well Kid pretty well I think. And this final one is Pinch Healing, which is obviously pretty good for Law, who is a doctor. Okay, but yeah, let's go into the real meat of things. We're going to go through each of them individually, so let's start with Luffy. And yeah, Luffy is a fighter powerhouse unit, captain ability. Boost strength characters attack by 4.75 times, dex and quick characters attack by 4 times, reduces damage taken by 25%, makes strength, dex, and quick characters tandem slots have matching slot effects. So yeah, as said, Luffy, his orb will be tandem, he's focused on tandem. Luffy is a strength unit, so he mainly boosts strength, but he also boosts the 2 other colors to a lesser degree. And this will be mirrored with the other units. And Luffy's unique other ability in the captain is that he reduces damage by 25%, which is a good sum, obviously. Moving on to the special. And yeah, you see I've marked it with Luffy. And this is the same way the special is marked with Luffy and Law. And when Luffy uses the special, he deals 300 times character's attack in type damage to all enemies, ignoring all defensive effects. Changes all slots to character's current slot, locks the chain multiplier's minimum value at 2.5 and maximum value at 35.0 for 1 turn. Boosts strength, dex, and quick character slot effects by 3 times for 1 turn. And becomes Luffy and Kid and Law for 3 turns. Okay, a lot to digest here. I think we need to look at the swap first to understand the special better. So the swap, and this is when you swap into Luffy, changes character's current character slot, including block slot, into tandem, and reduces crew's spine, the spear, paralysis duration by 1 turn. So yeah, nice utility, and you get a guaranteed tandem slot, even if you have a block slot. So yeah, when Luffy uses his special after a swap, he will deal 300 times his attack in type damage, so even more damage to dex of course, and less to quick to all enemies. It ignores defensive effects but not death, which is good to keep in mind. And then he changes all slots to character's current slot, so this is the same mechanic as units like Rare Recruit Kaku, Rare Recruit Summer Robin, when they give their slot to all other units. It doesn't go through block though, just to note that. But yeah, the idea here is that you swap, you have a tandem slot, and then you can give the tandem slot to all other units. And tandem is beneficial with the captain as well. And on top of that, you get a lot of damage. Another unique part to Luffy's special is that he will do the chain set, the same as V3 Law and the new Versus Ace. So you lock the chain multiplier to start at 2.5 times. And then you can add other chain boosts on top of it, include like a chain boost or a chain multiplier boost, stuff like that, sugar as well. And yeah, Luffy also boosts strength X and quick character slot effects by 3 times, and this will be consistent across all units. All units will both do the orb manip and the orb boost, and of course become the trio unit for 3 turns. And yeah, of course we have the super swap left, and it has very good synergy with this Luffy special in particular. Let's look at it. So the super swap is mostly the same, but you reduce crew's bind the spear paralysis by 2 turns instead of 1, and you also boost the chain multiplier by 0.07 for 1 turn. So together with Luffy's special with the chain set starting at 2.5, add the 0.07 and you get the chain starting at 3.2. Hit a perfect, it goes to 3.5. So the first unit attacking in the chain after you hit a perfect will start attacking at 3.5 times, and it just goes up from there with every perfect. See, obviously that will be a huge amount of damage. And yet this added chain boost will be added no matter who you swap to with super swap, so it remains consistent like that. And yeah, Luffy is really designed to be the main damage dealer out of the trio. And yeah, Sailor ability boosts crew's attack stat by 100. And Sailor 2 makes strength, dex, and quick characters tandem slots have matching slot effects. Yeah, consistent with the captain, makes Luffy better as a sub. So yeah, very strong obviously. Let's look at Kid. Kid is more designed to be a jack of all trades. He can do a lot of cool stuff. So Kid is a striker and driven dex unit. Captain ability boosts dex character's attack by 4.75 times. Strength and quick character attack by 4 times. Boosts strength, dex, and quick character HP by 1.4 times. And makes their bomb and super bomb slots have matching slot effects. So yeah, Kid designed with bomb and super bomb in mind. If you're familiar with dual units, you might react to Kid having the HP boost. And Kid is the only unit in the trio who has that HP boost. But that means that when you swap to Kid, he will suddenly have higher max HP. But it's not like you heal up to full. You'll have a lot of remaining HP left. So this is usually why individual units in a duo unit don't have different HP multipliers. So it's just like, you could argue it's bad design, but I've kept that in mind when designing the special to make up for it, and I think the special makes up for it. So let's look at that. Special Kid deals 200 times character's attack and type damage to all enemies. Changes all slots to character's current slot. If HP is below 70%, can't be KO'd for 1 turn, including damage from bomb or super bomb. Effect cannot be used multiple times. After a turn has passed, adds 30 times the amount of damage received up until this turn in non-type damage on top of tap timing bonuses for 1 turn. Maximum 9 million additional damage with 6 crew members. Boosts strength, dex, and quick character slot effects by 3 times for 1 turn. And becomes Luffy and Kid and Law for 3 turns. Okay, yes, I know this is not easy to digest. So let's go through the logic of this special. Okay, first we can look at the swap, since of course swap is important to keep in mind. With the normal swap, you change character slot, including block slot, into bomb, and completely removes character slot bind. So yeah, if you want to get rid of slot bind, you swap to Kid. We also have the super swap, which is the same. The difference is that instead of a bomb slot, you can get a super bomb slot, and that you also get the 0.07 chain multiplier boost for 1 turn. So same as Luffy and Kid, and Law will also have that. So yeah, this means that Kid can get either a bomb slot or super bomb slot and give it to all other units with his special. So yeah, let's break down the rest of his special. So first he has a resilience, so if HP is below 70%, he applies a resilience when the special is used. The part about effect cannot be used multiple times is just about you can't stack that resilience. You can only have one resilience on the team. So yeah, the fact that it's below 70% means that it's easier to trigger this part of the special when you swap to Kid, since you will have less HP percentage wise compared to max HP, since the other units don't have the extra 1.4 times HP. So yeah, this part of the special benefits from Kid having that 1.4 times HP in the captain. And yeah, what's the point of the resilience though? Yeah, if you look at the next part of the special, it's about adding tap timing bonus, the additional damage on top of tap timing bonus. This is the same effect that V2 Katakuri and Hawkins has. Kid in particular is designed after the Hawkins variant. It's very similar. Hawkins has 20 times amount of damage received. Kid here has 30 times, which means when you take, you can take up to 50. When you take 50k damage with Kid, you can add that in as tap timing bonus, and that means you can do 9 million additional damage. Note that this says after a turn has passed, so this is the clock mechanic. So you won't get this buff right away, you will get it the next turn. So let's go through why this Kid works like that, because I want to note that this Kid makes bomb and super bomb beneficial, but he doesn't make himself immune to bomb damage. So the idea here is that I really didn't like that the original Kid didn't do much with the bomb mechanic. Like there's no reason, it's bomb, it might as well have been rainbow. But with this Kid, you can actually make use of the damage you get from bomb slots. So the idea is you use this special, you get the resilience, you are guaranteed to not die this turn. You also get the 3 times ore boost. So the idea is that you kill the enemy this turn, while also taking some bomb or super bomb damage, maybe even to 1 HP, take a lot of damage, and then when you move on to next turn or next stage, you will get the additional damage, and of course the damage you take from bomb is factored in. So you can use that to do a lot of damage guaranteed next turn or stage. And this can be useful for say a revive or something like that, or just for extra damage no matter what kind of stage it is. So yeah, pretty big brain if I may say so myself. Like, it might not always be the most viable thing, but it's a cool option, and I think it really fits with the bomb captain. But yeah, one thing you might have forgotten is that he can also get a super bomb. So how you also can do it is to get a super bomb slot to every unit. And obviously super bomb can't be changed unless you use it. So you can set up circumstances where you get super bomb slots on everyone, you lock the slots with another unit, and yeah, you keep them the next stage too, and the orbs can't be manipulated. So yeah, Kid has a very strong kit that can be used in some very cool ways. Yeah, Sailor 1, boost crew's HP stat by 100. Sailor 2, yeah, make strength, dex, and quick archers bomb, super bomb slots, and magic slot effects. Yeah, just to make him good as sub as well. Yeah, let's move on to Law. And Law is a slasher cerebral. I think you see a pattern in the captain ability. Law is a quick unit, so he boosts quick charge attack by 4.75 times, strength and dex charge attack by 4 times, boosts strength, dex, and quick charge recovery by 1.4 times, and makes the recovery slots and matching slot effects. So yeah, Law is designed around the recovery slot. And the special Law, he will deal 400 times charge attack in type damage to one enemy. And this ignores all defensive effects, defense, and non-normal attacks deal 1 damage effect. Changes all slots, including block, to character's current slot, reduces the duration of a chosen status effect placed on the crew by 20 turns. Up to 1 effect can be selected. Boost strength, dex, and quick character slot effects by 3 times for 1 turn, and becomes Luffy and Kid and Law for 3 turns. So yeah, to break this down, lots of cool stuff going on. Law deals 4 times his attack in type damage to one enemy, but this is the same effect as Roger has. So to that enemy, You will go through all defensive effects, defense, and even normal attacks only, NAO. So you will do a ton of damage, even more if it's a strength unit, not as much if it's a dex unit. So yeah, that's cool. I feel like it fits his penetration abilities. Changes all slots, including blocks. So Law is the only one in the trio who can manipulate block slots for the whole team. And he changes to character's current slot, and yeah, of course the idea is to swap to get the recovery and give recovery orbs to everyone. And then he has the Weave on Shirahoshi Manshuri effect of removing any status effect, almost any status effect, but he removes them by 20 turns, but he can only remove one. But he, of course, being able to remove almost any status effect by 20 turns is incredibly powerful. I feel like it's a fitting extra utility for a doctor. And of course, like the other two, he also does Orb Manip and 3 times Orb Boost for these 3 colors. Of course, very strong, very different from the other two. As said, the idea is that every 3 should feel very different with their specials. And yeah, if you swap into Law, you change character slot, including block slot, into recovery, heals 10% of crew's maximum HP, and reduces crew's special bind, recovery down, recovery bind by 1 turn. Yeah, the recovery down or recovery bind is a bit whatever, it's mostly for thematic reasons. The big thing is of course to get the recovery slot, get some healing, and reduce special bind. And if you get the super swap, it's almost the same. You heal 20% instead of 10, and you reduce special bind, recovery bind by 2 turns instead, and boost the chain multiplier by 0.07 for 1 turn, which is the same as the other two. Sailor 1 boosts crew's recovery stat by 100, so yeah, Luffy is attack, Kid is HP, Law is recovery. Sailor 2 makes strength, dex, and quick art recovery slots have matching slot effects. Yeah, this is also consistent, makes Law good sub too. So yeah, let's finish this by talking about some pros and cons. Obviously there are more pros, like very high numbers, 5.25, new highest numbers, like 4.75 times for their own color in single form is also very good. You have a lot of options, of course, like all of them have different specials, so depending on situation, you can have it easy building a team since this unit already can handle so much. And of course, 3 different colors, so you can access the color you need to do the most damage at any given time. Very useful. And they also get like a matching slot every time they swap. And yeah, the swaps can fit the needs of the team, so if you need to remove a bit of bind the next stage, you swap to Luffy. If you need to remove special bind, you swap to Law. If you get slot bind, you swap to Kid, stuff like that. And yeah, as you can see, they've been designed to be good both as captain and as a sub. There are some cons though. The most obvious con is that it's not straightforward to use. To use them really good, you will need to really do some big brain planning. But if you do that, they will be incredibly good, of course. And yeah, actually having unique swap is not just good. Like say you want to remove 3 turns of bind. You can't just do with like, say Luffy Zoro and just swap between them and you remove 3 turns of bind in 2 turns. Unless you get the super swap, you're only going to remove one turn of bind, for example, by swapping to Luffy. But you can't swap to Luffy again the next turn. So yeah, it's a bit of a negative in that aspect, but I feel like having all the options makes up for it. And of course, if you screw up swap order, you might be in trouble. Like you're on Luffy and you want to super swap to Luffy, you can't do that, so you need to keep that in mind. But yeah, obviously, super powerful units. I probably went overboard a bit in many ways, but yeah, this is just what I thought would be cool. I don't think it will happen. I look forward to seeing what Bandai actually does, and we shall find out in a few weeks. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for hearing me out. See you next time.